So we've got our basic story set up right now. NieR is a single dad, and his daughter is sick, and he is just like a basic village handyman, so he doesn't really know anything about cure, really have money to go find one.
And so we're going to go get some mutton, apparently, now.
Yeah, pretty much like all NieR is really good for. I mean, that's a rude way to put it, but he's just like
good for is mutton.
No, all he's good for is just like miscellaneous tasks to help out the village.
He seems like the kind of person that's just free just to do odd jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just a nice guy, part of the village, like, just a respected man.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just a good old village worker.
Yeah.
Who's got really silly pants on. I don't know what's up with that. Everybody else in this game, it was wearing pretty reasonable clothing, but NieR's wearing like flip-flops and like giant shorts.
He looks like he's in some sort of tribe.
Yeah.
Like a sort of a tribal leader.
He does. So this is the Northern Plains. You can see like one big remnant of the old society is the giant railroad that runs through the whole place.
Huh.
Anyway, let's go fight some sheep. Oh god!
Oh wow! You just got kicked.
Yeah, sheep are aggressive in this world, and what I really like about them is that you can see it with that one right there. They sort of look expectantly at you.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's like sheep have evolved to like get sick of your shit.
Yeah. So you just beat them up and you can collect their mutton. But there are some different ways that some different things we can use to sort of keep them in place. Mm-hmm. One is a jump attack, and then we press triangle while we're in midair, which is this really heavy attack that knocks most smaller enemies over.
Wow.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Poor sheep didn't know it was coming.
Yeah. And then we have one other move we can use, and that's like a charge attack.
Wow.
Yeah. After every hit of your combo, you can hold the button and it will charge it up for a special attack. And every, depending on what part of the combo you're in, it'll be a different attack too. I'm actually going to show them all right now.
Okay.
You can even do it after the 5th hit of your combo, which means that you can kind of do a 6-hit combo if you do, if you do that. Oh no!
Oh no, what's, shades? This isn't sheep.
And that close to the village too, we gotta take care of these dudes before they become a threat.
They're only little shades, though.
Yeah.
They're like little cute little babby shades.
But that doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
Exactly. Maybe I wouldn't really call them cute. They're like imps.
They're like cute, but in an ugly way.
Maybe they're cute in Shade Society.
And you can see that one was carrying an old school book, so even though these ones might be adorable in a weird way, they are stealing stuff.
That's true.
From us.
We can't have them steal the educational material that we need to keep everyone well informed of the history of whatever the human world is. Yes.
Of whatever went horribly wrong. That's the 6-hit attack. It's actually sort of a 2-hit combo, so in a way you have a 7-hit combo if you want to look at it that way.
That one looked particularly painful.
Yeah. I think the longer you hold the button, the more damage it does, but honestly I'm not sure. I will investigate at some point.
Oh.
Nah. Nothing worse than a sad tree.
Yeah. Like Wispy Woods.
Yeah, oh.
Well, maybe I don't know if he's really that sad. He's more of a, sort of like surprised.
Yeah, he's more like defeated, I suppose. A little down in the dumps. Or you can press select to see the map. The map always displays a red X for where your next goal is.
Oh.
Oh, pigs.
Look at those cute little pigs.
Look at them.
I'm glad that pigs didn't go extinct in the great apocalypse of
in the great bad
312 years ago. Yeah, the big baddening.
No, baddening. Yeah,
that's what the scholars called it.
Mm-hmm. All the smartest people call it that. Everyone else just calls it the
kind of reaction you get after that happened.
Yeah. So this is the marketplace. We're not going to explore too much right now, but there's a ton of people that you can talk to here, and there's also a ton of different people that you can buy stuff from.
Yeah.
We'll explore it a little bit further later, but for now we're only going to talk to the shopkeeper who we need to give the mutton to.
Yeah. Villagers need their food.
You bet.
Oh, I love lamb, but mutton? I actually had mutton before.
I'm a vegetarian, so I have no opinion on this matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, I hear it tastes alright, but so does most meat.
It's about average meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is sort of the regular shopkeeper, I guess kind of the grocer.
Okay.
You can buy healing items from him, such as the medicinal herb, which we need to bring for Popola. And also, he sells maps. And the Eastern Road map sounds pretty close to us, because we just went to the northern Plains. So we're going to buy that map right now, just in case.
Ah. So we have to buy our maps. We don't have an automatic updating map wherever we go?
For some of the maps we need to buy, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We could buy medicinal herbs from that guy for Popola.
Yep.
But you've seen probably those glistening spots before.
Yeah, I mean the ones near the trees, like for example when you got the berries.
Yeah, you can pick up a ton of different stuff from those glistening spots, including medicinal herbs. It's a good dog.
Aww.
Bark, bark.
What's he looking at?
At you, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's looking at the sky.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just pick up medicinal herbs for this little quest, so you don't even have to buy them from the shopkeeper. And as a matter of fact, if you're very diligent about picking them up, or if you have been very diligent about picking them up, you probably don't have to buy any of them. You've already got 3 of them for this quest.
Treasure hunting pays off.
It does.
Hey.
No, they're not. They're sheep.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing squirrely about them.
Squirrels are dicks, though.
Man, I can't believe those sheep. They tried to get away from me when I was killing them. What?
How could they have done that? It's like they don't know their place. In my mouth.
That was the end of our busy day. We made like 1,600 gold. I don't really know what the exchange rate on that is, but that sounds like a pretty good amount for one day.
I hope the coins are like not in denominations of 10, because that's a lot of money just to give us.
Yeah, I hope it's like I hope they're billions or something like that. Bullions.
Checks.
Yeah.
Just write you a check.
A check in gold. They're just checks made of gold. Just gold shearings.
It's like gold leaf.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with it. Oh, big pink goats.
I don't remember that from the dream. Maybe we only saw like a small part of the dream, like the sad part that she doesn't want to think about.
Yeah. I hope we don't have to fight a big pink goat later.
That is scary.
Yeah. I mean, sheep are bad enough when they kick you, but goats, man, they kick you hard. Don't get me started on horses either. The final boss.
It's a pretty important story being told thematically right now about a flower called the Lunar Tear that can grant any wish if you find it, but only good boys and girls will ever find it.
Oh, Yona's a good girl.
Yeah, maybe one day she'll stumble across one of them. Or maybe we will, who knows? I bet NieR's still a boy at heart.
He yearns for adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's sort of a silent protagonist-ish.
Is he? No, he does plenty of talking. We even hear him talk.
You can still project your character onto him, though, couldn't you?
To a degree. I think at this point of the game, yeah. But he does get fleshed out quite a bit, eventually.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm glad Yona was impressed by that story. Maybe that'll cheer her up a little.
Yeah. Maybe it'll stop her from leaving the house because she's bored.
I wonder if NieR ever ended up bringing her that book or not. We didn't see it, but you can obviously just imagine. Here's the pause menu. It's very barren for now, but the most important thing about it is that you can see your next objective in the bottom.
Ah.
Yeah.
And I noticed we have big red X's on our map screen down there, so...
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, actually.
Yeah, we always know where to go.
Yeah, those are almost always there, and they always lead you right where you need to go.
Okay, so it's kind of really... it's quite difficult to get lost.
Yeah, it's not like those old school RPGs where it's like, you're never really told your objective, and sometimes you just get lost because you have literally no idea what to do.
Yeah, it's the worst when it's, when you leave the game for a while, and you come back, and you have no idea what you're doing. So usually I wind up starting a new game if that happens.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that.
Mm-hmm. Chrono Trigger was bad for that.
Uh-huh. Final Fantasy VII is really bad for that.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder if they'll do something different about that for the remake, if they'll give you quest markers or anything like that.
I'm pretty sure that they probably would.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anything like the last couple of Final Fantasies. I mean, I assume they want to make it similar to the way their style has been going in the last few, so...
Yeah, probably.
I just hope it has really epic summons. I mean, I likely won't play it because it's on the PS4, but...
Oh, no. Maybe it'll come to PC one day.
One day. Till then, I can buy it on Steam. At least the original.
Yeah. All right, another day, another job. This time we have to go take care of some more shades. Because really, NieR's the most... his best trait is that he's very good at fighting things. As any good JRPG protagonist, he is good at beating things up.
He's good with a sword.
Yeah.
He's learnt fencing.
He's good with his like very thin baby sword.
You know that belt though would probably be a weak spot.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Because then his shoulder pad would come off as well.
Yeah, if you pull that, you could very easily like catch him off guard.
Yeah.
Combat discipline.
Yeah, not. I mean, he's probably never had any formal training.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we gotta take care of some shades that apparently like broke this bridge.
I'm glad you can run this fast.
You do run pretty quick, although we will be getting faster methods of travel too once like getting around starts becoming too tedious. In 1,312 years, humans evolved to run at the same speed as cars. Whoa. Alright, so we've got like a couple of more combat moves that I haven't discussed yet.
Okay.
And I think one of them should come up right here. Yeah, you can, if you press L2 and the triangle button at the same time, when you're standing over an enemy that is down, you'll do like this finishing move that does a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's like a coup de grace.
Yeah.
It's like, oof.
And another thing that you could see me do, that you saw me do just earlier, is that you can do this thing where you kind of, if you just press triangle, you sort of just like bash an enemy, and that'll stop weaker enemies from attacking. So you can just like cancel their attacks completely.
So the game doesn't really... So does the game really tell you much about these combos, or is this all things you figure out yourself?
You do eventually enemies start dropping tutorials, which is kind of a silly system, but yeah, there you go.
Sort of reminds me of old school fighting games in a way.
Yeah. So here you can see, we were talking about like traveling methods. Doing the dodge over and over again is slightly faster than walking. I won't be doing this on video at all because it's very obnoxious.
Oh my god.
Once things start getting to a point where just walking from point A to point B is tedious because we've already seen that like trek, then I'll just start cutting it out.
Legend of Zelda had Ocarina of Time had a similar movement system that was faster, and that was a great game. So
yeah,
I can understand them doing this.
You can roll, move backwards. You get so many options for going fast in that game, other than just walking.
Please tell me that's actually a speed, like how the speedrunners play the entire game just by rolling.
No, unfortunately, they do stuff like they walk backwards, they walk to the side, they throw a bomb in front of themselves, and then do like this weird thing where they block it and then start sliding.
Oh, yes. I love it. It's the kind of thing I want to see at the next AGDQ.
Oh.
But in real life.
Whoa.
Didn't really seem like we had that much problem with those shades.
No, but I mean, you know how it goes. You just get nicked by one of them, and it could end up being a really bad wound.
Mm-hmm. One injury.
Yeah. I mean, you always hear stuff about people that, like, for example, I guess professional fighters, you know, they're always getting their bones broken and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they'll get just, like, a tiny cut on their cheek that gets infected and does them in.
Yeah.
It's a tragic irony. I guess not irony, but something close to that.
Gotta keep your wounds well wrapped.
Yeah, you gotta put that medicinal weed all around it. Oh, no, it's medicinal herb, sorry.
Oh yeah, medicinal herbs. Can usually use honey on some wounds to prevent them from becoming really infected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a natural antibacterial.
I did know that, actually, but I never put two and two together like that.
You can also use silver as well.
Huh.
So there's some dressings that have silver on them.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. And I think there was one more. I think it was iodine, but sounds like it'd be painful. Yeah. Personally.
I can imagine. So it looks like Yona once again went against our instructions and went to the library to ask Popola about the lunar tier.
It seems like this is where we're going to be. Our plot's going to take us. Maybe.
Well, right now our plot's going to take us home to tell Yona that she's not supposed to go outside for real. I mean, look at this area right now. Like, it looks so pale and just dead. Just being outside is probably not good for you.
The air just has this sort of miasma.
Yeah, there are actually like different there's sort of a time of day. Oh god,
Whoa, where is she? She's gone off.
Oh no.
She's gone to find the Lunateer herself. She's on her own RPG.
No, she's probably just went to the library again or something.
That lighting was too, it was too narrative driven. It meant that something bad was going to happen. It's going to start raining now, I can feel it.
Well, there is sort of like a weather system in this game where you can see sometimes it'll be dusk or it'll be midday or it'll look like sort of overcast like it is right now. But it never actually rains like that in this game.
Yeah. This game has been too happy so far. Well, more like it's sort of a, I'd say it's happy, but you can really tell that there's a sort of hint of dread in the air.
I wouldn't call it happy because it's like we're dealing with end of the world type stuff, but it's serene. It's been serene at least.
You've got to imagine that what the present day is like for them. They have their own problems, and for what's all it's worth it, Yona has a cough, but they're all living and within their means.
Alright, let's see if Popeful knows what's going on with Yona disappearing.
I knew it.
You were so right. Why do you always have to be so right?
And they conveniently grow around a lost shrine, which I imagine is pretty close to your town.
God, please, stop undermining this game.
Oh.
Oh, God.
She just wants to be better.
She does.
She just wants the best.
But she shouldn't be putting herself in danger like that.
I know. She puts others before herself.
Yeah. I mean, her dad's always taking care of her, and she just wants to return the favor, I guess.
Damn it, Yona. I have to get to the eastern gate.
So yeah, you were right. As usual. Yona's gone off to find the Lunateer, and we have to go find her before something terrible happens, because we know there's shades like running around all over the place.
And they're near the town as well, so we have to be quick. Ooh. What could it be? No, not the ribbon!
No.
I can't believe she really went to the lost shrine.
Now we have to get her back.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Eastern Road, which we bought a map for earlier. Even though we wouldn't really need one yet, but it's nice to have it. And the Eastern Road has goats on it. Actually, the Northern Plains has some of them too, but they're a little more common here.
Oh, wow.
The goats are different in that when they attack you, they will actually still start following up on it.
Oh, wow, we've got a friend to help.
Yeah. And also, unfortunately, that goat didn't do it right there, but if you attack a goat, all the goats around it will fall over from shock. Usually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like the amount of blood that came out of you when the goat kicked you, though.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It looked so painful.
It does, yeah. But NieR is a big, strong man. He can take it.
Oh, yeah, he can take it.
He's got blood like you wouldn't believe.
He has twice as much blood as a normal man.
Whoa.
That's the kind of things that they sing about beneath the campfire. Maybe she could have squeezed through.
Yeah, there are some pretty visible holes right there.
Yeah, quite a considerably sized hole.
But maybe she used that ladder, actually.
Oh, that would be a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
So we're going into the mountains.
Yeah, just listen to this adventure jam, man.
Yeah. It's so impressive.
And there it is. You know, this game, as far as fidelity goes, it's not like a super good looking game. Like, it looks very dated.
Yeah.
But its environment design, I do think, is really good. So if some things might not look super clean, it always still looks pretty, in a way. But yeah, that's the Lost Shrine.
I wonder what that actually was back when before the world was destroyed, because it does look like an old world building.
The well-charted shrine, maybe?
Maybe. It was on the maps. It was on radar.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like a radio tower or something.
The unlost shrine.
Or maybe like a Tibetan observatory.
Oh, maybe.
Ooh. That would be cool. But it looks a bit too like a bunker for my tastes.
I wonder if there was ground all around here back like a long time ago, or if it was always sort of like sectioned off like this.
The Deku Tree. No.
It's a little too thin for that we can't go in there exactly.
It's just a normal old tree that's grown all over this building.
Yeah. So this is the Lost Shrine, and it is sort of the first dungeon of this game. This game plays pretty fast and loose with what is and isn't a dungeon. But it wouldn't be a good Zelda, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy game if it didn't have a dungeon in it.
No, of course not.
Or dungeons, rather.
Wow, this place is very well kept for what looks to be a very old building.
Yeah, and maybe it was just really well put together to begin with.
Maybe there was like some volunteers that came over and keep this place well kept.
Yeah, well, someone must have dropped this map. Maybe that was a construction crew, who knows?
Yeah. Maybe it's just like a piece of old history that just needs to be kept.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. Although the light bulbs, I wonder where the electricity is coming from, Maybe they're solar powered.
Oh, those are light bulbs. I always thought those were just weird bloom spots.
Yeah. Then again, the game did, the apocalypse apparently happened around 2049, if I'm correct, so...
That means that low yield lights at least existed already, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. We might have had the technology.
Yeah, but no, it's probably just magic or something.
I like how we have our action RPG classic of boxes we can break.
Yep, that got keys in them that we use for doors. It's all basic stuff.
Seems we can never get away from having to break every box in a video game.
No.
Oh wow, nice. Very Zelda-esque thing going on.
Yeah. There's shades in here, man.
No, little shades though.
Yeah, but still, those could still be a big threat to a little girl, so we gotta find her real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are like these old school Zelda-like sections where the camera goes into a top-down perspective. This game actually does a lot of cool stuff with just camera and gameplay elements like a lot of the time, and that's kind of what makes it so unique.
Mm-hmm. It does a lot to try and keep you from getting bored with the combat by just mixing things up slightly differently, which is... Yeah, I really like the look of this game already.
Definitely, yeah. So right here you will slowly start to notice something, and that is that as you rack up your combo, you can see in the top right, you start attacking faster.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's every 10 hits you start attacking faster, but it might just be like every single hit you get just a little bit faster, I'm not sure.
And it's quite lenient with the combo, how long they last for as well.
Yeah, I want to say they're about 5 seconds between. Yeah.
That's quite lenient.
You can see right there, I very quickly brought up the sort of item quick menu. I'll be talking about that a little more later, but I had to heal real fast.
No, the tree.
I can never not be on full health. Yeah, tree's blocking us.
This is going to be a no damage run.
No.
I don't think that's even possible.
It is, but it will be very tough. As much as I like the combat in this game, it is a little loose, and sometimes you'll just get nicked by hits that you didn't think would hit you. Like that.
Oh, yeah, in these sorts of games where there are many enemies coming at you at once, this is quite tricky.
Yeah, and there's also the fact that there is no lock-on or anything in this game, so you have to work the camera manually if you want to look at what you're really supposed to look at. Which is definitely hard to get used to at first, I'll say.
Yeah, it looks responsive enough with the camera.
So here you get a better look at the quick menu. These are all the different healing items and buffs that you have. So you have the medicinal herb is the weakest healing item and heals 30% of your health. And we'll get more as we get further into the game. But also you can see an item called defense drop, which increases your defense for a certain amount of time. There's all kinds of different drops. There's defense drops, attack drop, all sorts of stuff like that we'll be getting as the game goes on.
I've always loved choir music like this.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I hope I'm not going to sound like a broken record in this game, but pretty much every time we get to a new area, I'm going to talk about how good the music is.
I think that's justified in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know how great every track is.
Absolutely.
Just keep our tabs at the soundtrack.
Because we're big talkers. We're going to be talking over like 90% of the time. If I don't tell you the music's good, how are you going to know?
Yeah, exactly. And that could be a selling point for a lot of people who might be already interested in this game. So we have to let you know.
So here we get our first new weapon of the game.
Nirvana, huh?
And we can very conveniently switch out weapons by pressing the down button on the D-pad.
Oh.
Weapons have 3 different stats. They have attack power, which is just how much damage they do. Magic power, which isn't important yet. And weight, which is how fast you swing them.
So you wow, that is a dagger.
Yeah. You could also see it had a different effect on its charge move, which, as far as I'm aware, that doesn't actually have anything to do with elemental weaknesses or anything like that. It's just there to look nice.
Okay. So while we're just fighting these enemies here, something which I do know about this game, the only thing I do know, is that apparently the Japanese version had a different version of this game with a different main character?
That is true, yeah. And we'll actually go into that a lot later on.
Okay.
But for now, what I'll say is that it doesn't really affect the story other than on the surface level, because, it's 2 different characters. And then, here's a new attack, by the way. You can do an attack out of a dodge. But yeah. Other than the very surface of there's a different character, and like the really deep level of some actions have different implications based on the characteristics of the 2 different characters, it doesn't affect the actual plot, basically. The plots of the 2 versions are the same.
I see, that's fine.
Yeah. And also, one more thing that has to do with the weapons. In Drakengard, which, as I've mentioned, this game is sort of a sequel, spiritual successor to, in that game, all weapons had stories to them. That you would get 1 part to every time you level the weapons up. Now, this game does let you level weapons up, but weapons don't have stories to them. They have little descriptions that you can see on the menu, but no, little, just tiny, sort of backstories.
So every single weapon has a sort of story and character to it?
Yeah, but this game does have that still, but only in a book, an extended universe book called Grimoire NieR that was only released in Japan.
Oh... Gotta learn Japanese.
Thankfully, there are some helpful people out on the internet that have translated parts of it. So at the end of every video, when we get a new weapon, I will put the stories just there for you to read, and I will also put them in the thread.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to miss out on those. Fair warning, though, all of the stories are super depressing and nihilistic.
So in Drakengard, even the most simple weapons had stories.
Yeah, in that game there are, I think, about 40-ish weapons, I want to say. And this game has about the same number of weapons. And yeah, all of them just have stories. It's neat.
Oh. But it seems to me like the weapons that we get is not like traditional RPGs where you go from a bronze short sword to a iron short sword. Like, we have a Nirvana dagger. That sounds like a sort of endgame weapon on its own.
Yeah, well, all weapons are definitely, really unique in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different, and I like that.
I really like this sword, too, because it sort of looks like the physical Soul Reaver from Legacy of Kain. Because it has, that weird wavy curving effect to it that I really dig.
It's also the biggest dagger I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is pretty big for a dagger.
It's so huge.
I think if it had a longer handle, it could definitely pass for a 2-handed sword.
It's like a dagger version of the Buster Sword, almost.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a lot more cumbersome looking, though.
And a little less stylish.
Oh yeah, needs those little holes in it, to make it go faster.
Yeah. And NieR could take his little, sash bandage thing that he has and kind of, wrap that around it to make it look like the Kingdom Hearts version.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if you can get different clothes as well. Or are we going to be always rocking the sash?
Sort of, but that's not something we're going to be able to get into until way later. But yes, there are different outfits we can get.
Well, I like the sash, so I hope we get to rock it with the sash for a long time.
So this is just a little side area. We already passed the main objective, and you can get a couple of medicinal herbs in there if you want. But unfortunately, we were already at our inventory max of 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
Wow, we really have to conserve what we have in our inventory then.
Yeah, well, they get dropped pretty much all the time. So,
Oh.
you know.
All right, let's go find Yona.
Yep.
as we ascend the Lost Shrine.
Because there's this very rickety like construction bit on the outside.
Yeah, it's just little wooden rivets, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't look safe at all.
Very dangerous. So yeah, as I said earlier, this game plays really fast and loose with the idea of what a dungeon is. I don't even know if the designers even intended for this area to be a dungeon. But it does sort of have like outdoors wild areas and then indoors sort of like more contained mission areas, I guess. And this was one of them. But it doesn't really have puzzles like a traditional dungeon does. So, you know, it's mostly just we were slowly fighting our way up to the top.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really too sure, because with most games, in the terms of how they describe dungeons, I don't know how I'd really describe this.
Yeah. I think I would call it a dungeon just because I'm not sure what else you would really call it, if it even needs a description at all.
An instance, I don't know.
Yeah.
An area of danger.
So we were talking earlier about similarities to Zelda, and here's a big one. You can pull and push boxes around, and one thing I really like about it is that as you're pulling and pushing them, NieR sort of shifts in the way he's pushing, which is a very human thing.
Yeah. I like how you were pulling it with one hand earlier. That was really awesome. Yeah, look at that.
It's like when you're carrying a really heavy bag of groceries and you keep switching what hand you hold it in because it keeps getting uncomfortable.
Oh, it's the worst when you they have a really heavy bag of groceries that's in like two hands.
I mean, I don't do that. I'm ripped. I don't have to do that. Is what I meant.
Oh no, it's the worst though when it's so heavy that it starts kind of jostling back and forth and it hits your legs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially if there's something like if there's like a box in there or something that's heavy and sharp.
Yeah, if there's any meat in there that is got in a plastic container.
Oh, and it really like slams into you.
I don't think the people in this world has a big problem with having giant bags of groceries.
Yeah. Here we see a save point, which is in the shape of a mailbox, which is kind of cute.
Yeah, it's like an old British mailbox.
Yeah. And this is the end of the Lost Shrine.